Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including specs detailed for Tesla's cheap car coming in 2025, Tesla's customer satisfaction, Robotaxi details, and more, so let's get into it. And a special thanks to Recurrent for sponsoring a portion of this video. First up today, anyone who drives an EV will likely be able to tell you how great the ownership experience can be. These cars have great performance, a ton of impressive tech inside, minimal maintenance, and their increasingly software-based design means that they can be improved throughout ownership. Consumer Reports has just released their latest owner satisfaction survey results, and the data is pretty clear: customers love their EVs. In this latest report, both Rivian and Tesla did extremely well, putting two all-electric American automakers in the top 3 slots. Tesla came in third in their rankings, with 72% of current owners saying that they would consider buying from them again. Rivian came in first by a pretty wide margin, with 86% of owners reporting that they would purchase from them again. That's a pretty big lead, with Tesla being neck and neck with BMW and Porsche, who see 73% and 71% owner satisfaction rates, respectively. From last year, Tesla actually went up 2 positions on the list, even after dropping 2 percentage points in customers who would be willing to buy again. Tesla's numbers are still very good and place it in a league with 2 renowned and very luxurious automakers. What it does point to is the tremendous work that Rivian has done as a small brand in building a great product lineup that customers are very happy with. Consumer Reports also notes that automakers with fewer models in their lineup tend to perform better than those with extensive vehicle catalogs. They said, quote, "Some automakers have a model or two that ranks among the most satisfying vehicles, while the rest of their lineup falls short in the eyes of owners. But a handful of manufacturers consistently please buyers across all or most of their lineups. Consistency matters because automaker lineups aren't static. When it comes to consumer satisfaction, consistency and quality is key above all else." It's very impressive what these companies, especially Rivian, have done to keep customers happy when driving one of their cars. Rivian is of course much less scaled than Tesla at the moment, and some have pointed out that it could be difficult to maintain that level of service as they expand further. It's definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking at these percentages. It's much easier to keep a smaller group of people happy, so Tesla ranking third is still very, very impressive here, considering how many more cars they have sold than Rivian. I'm very excited to see how these companies and Rivian navigate their future growth, though, if their customer satisfaction stays high, and how this lineup will change as more companies shift towards full electrification. Still, this should be seen as a sign that when companies handle them correctly, customers love EVs, and those that take the plunge would happily do so again. Next up today is some big news and rumor in the Tesla space that is bringing a lot of Tesla's 2025 into focus. While Tesla's long future involves products like the Robotaxi, expansion of self-driving, Optimus humanoid robots, and more, in the meantime, they sell cars. They have many pieces of their business, and their energy business is somewhat quietly growing extremely rapidly. But right now, their bread and butter remains vehicle sales. That's why we're seeing so many discounts and incentives to take delivery of a new Tesla before the end of this quarter. Tesla is aiming to hit record deliveries for the quarter prior to introducing a new Model Y or any other cheaper models. So it's why we're seeing 0% APR deals, low lease deals on the Model Y, and more. In any case, next year will involve a number of new cars for Tesla. For one, we fully expect the Model Y Juniper refresh, which at this point has been anticipated for a while. But the more exciting thing for many is that Tesla has reiterated a couple of times that, quote, "preparations remain underway for our offering of new vehicles, including more affordable models, which we will begin launching in the first half of 2025. They've only expanded on this a little bit, saying plans for new vehicles, including more affordable models, remain on track for start of production in the first half of 2025. These vehicles will utilize aspects of the next generation platform, as well as aspects of our current platform, and will be able to be produced on the same manufacturing lines as our current vehicle lineup." This approach led to a couple of assumptions, but mainly people expect them to build some sort of Model Y Mini or Model 3 Mini, or maybe both. Now, however, new details are coming into focus finally. The rumored name for this vehicle currently is Model Q. This is specifically a compact, affordable EV slated to release in the first half of 2025, in line with their revealed plans. This information reportedly comes through Tesla's investor relations head during a recent investor call with Deutsche Bank through Global China EV. During the call, they said the Model Q will debut under $30,000 after subsidies, with the potential of starting under $25,000. In China, the price of it could drop even lower than that thanks to local production. Internally, this model is known as Redwood, which we've heard of for some time, and it will utilize a lot of Tesla's next generation platform. Thanks to this, it will be 15% smaller than the Model 3, but a whopping 30% lighter. That means a much more efficient car, and its length will be 157 inches as opposed to the Model 3's 184 inches. For comparison, some other vehicles with a length similar to this are the BMW i3, the Fiat 124 Spider, or Mazda Miata MX-5. Essentially, a lot of two-door vehicles have a length like this, or this is slightly shorter than the Honda Fit. The cars this is particularly aimed at as well include the VW ID3 and BYD Dolphin. This is part of the benefit we get in the US of Tesla competing globally. They have to compete with Chinese automakers, so we get their improvements here and seemingly their competing models, even though we don't have those Chinese cars here. This car will use an LFP battery pack, which comes with the benefit of being able to be charged to 100% each day, and will come in both 53 kWh and 75 kWh configurations, also with single and dual motor options. I personally wouldn't be surprised if they do a normal Tesla thing, making a single rear-wheel drive standard range model with that 53 kWh pack, and then rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive for the long-range pack. Reportedly, though, this setup will deliver up to 310 miles of range, which would be remarkable at this price point, especially since Tesla would soon be profitable on it. Others have delivered cars in the US with a long range and low price point, but they typically don't last too long on the market. For now, this is just the first model we are hearing about, but Tesla is expected to release another one as well. It's possible that that could be a larger car that holds a lower price point thanks to reduced features, or perhaps Tesla will say 3 different trims on a car equals multiple new affordable models. Just for fun, let's speculate a bit more on its efficiency and range though, and try to find the range of the standard range pack as accurately as we can. If the range is an EPA estimate, that assumes an efficiency of 4.13 miles per kilowatt hour on a 75 kilowatt hour pack, getting 310 miles of range. And here we could also assume that it would weigh about 2,821 pounds, 30% less than a Model 3 rear-wheel drive long range. In practice, that 75 kilowatt hour battery pack probably weighs about 945 pounds, meaning a 53 kilowatt hour pack would weigh around 668 pounds, putting the standard range Model Q at about 2,544 pounds. That would mean a rough efficiency of 4.58 miles per kilowatt hour. The lighter the car, the better the efficiency, so that 53 kilowatt hour Model Q could see a range of about 218 miles. I would imagine Tesla wanting this to say 220 if they can achieve it. In the past, Elon Musk has called a range under 250 miles unacceptably low, but that was for a Model Y. When looking at a small car in this price point, it absolutely could make sense. Maybe they can achieve a $30,000 real starting price with a 220-mile range, and then the longer range version ends up at $35,000 or something higher. If they follow similar pricing structure to the Model 3 earlier this year, it would be about a $6,000 difference between standard range rear-wheel drive and long-range all-wheel drive. Maybe long-range rear-wheel drive would fit somewhere in between too. It's hard to estimate pricing, but I would venture that at launch we may see something like this. $29,990 for a rear-wheel drive Model Q with 220 miles of range. $34,990 for a rear-wheel drive long-range Model Q with 310 miles of range, and then $36,990 for the all-wheel drive long-range Model Q with a 295-mile range. A slight range reduction, but you get dual motor and a quicker 0 to 60, whatever these end up being. Especially to start, I could see the prices not looking too amazing. Next up, let's talk about today's sponsor, Recurrent. Recurrent is a free online platform designed by a team of battery scientists to analyze the range and health of your EV battery over time. Drivers can easily connect their car to get the latest vehicle insights into the battery history and an estimate of its overall health. Tesla owners also have access to their beta battery health module, which only collects data while you are charging, removing the phantom drain that other battery health services create. They have a huge data set of around 25,000 vehicles with more than 50 makes and models across all 50 states. Here's an example report of a 2023 Model Y, which lays out the car's expected range, real-world range, how much time is left on the warranty, and more. With Recurrent, EV owners make more money by showing that their battery is still going strong, and large auto auctions have found that including their vehicle insights increased the average sale price by $1,400. If you are looking to buy your first EV, then you can check the range, battery, and tax credit eligibility on tens of thousands of vehicles, all for free. Location data is never collected, personal data is never shared without your consent, and battery information is handled securely with end-to-end encryption. With Recurrent, we can buy, drive, and sell electric vehicles positively, so check them out by clicking the link in the description below. This looks pretty good starting at $30,000, but it's possible it actually starts higher than this. Consider that the Model 3 was supposed to start at $35,000, and now we're seeing this smaller car hopefully launching at that price or lower. Of course, a lot has happened, including big improvements to that car and inflation, but still, Tesla never really launches a car at the price point people actually want long term. They launch at a price that they can sell it at, which with a new model always ends up higher. That also helps them internally to fund the R&D on it and work towards profitability quicker. In time, though, they will likely keep dropping the price. We've seen this already pretty sharply with the Cybertruck after just a year, with Tesla offering a $2,000 discount with the referral program and low lease pricing. Then the question is what this means for incentives, since some of this rumored pricing is dependent on subsidies that may be disappearing. Those are rumored to be disappearing in 2025, and they actually have Tesla's support. That's always a bit confusing because they seem to be quoting prices that are based on something they expect to and support going away. So for that $25,000 price point, I do expect it to include tax credits. We'll see if those two end up overlapping or not, the launch of this car and the availability of that credit. Right off the bat, this car is expected to help Tesla achieve 20 to 30% year-over-year growth in 2025, and the timeline for these still remains the first half of 2025. I would expect that we would see the Model Y Juniper come sometime in January or Q1, then see this new car come towards the middle of the year, but time will tell. We haven't really seen any leaks of this car from what we can tell, so it does raise some questions there as to when it would come, although Tesla could be disguising a lot of this tech within robotaxis that we do see them testing around Giga Texas. Follow-ups to this report do share a bit more details, including the fact that the Model Q name is something coming from Deutsche Bank, not from Tesla. On top of that, the $30,000 price is what includes incentives, so it could be a standard range car at $37,499 if those tax credits disappear, which would be disappointing given the fact that the Model 3 started only slightly above that price earlier this year with the standard range model. Even if entirely built on speculation, these specs do seem to paint a pretty good picture of what Tesla could be releasing within the first half of 2025. At the same time as this car as well, there have been rumors of a longer wheelbase Model Y coming out of China, and that car could be very popular as a true 3-row option for larger families. Overall, there's a lot of speculation going on here, but we know something is coming, and this latest report gives a bit more of an idea of how Tesla is planning to get to a lower price point on a drivable car. At launch, though, it just may not be as low of a price as we had previously hoped. It's a long road to true, scalable, profitable EV affordability, but we are getting there slowly but surely. What do you think about this cheaper Tesla, though? Are you excited about it? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up today, Tesla owners Silicon Valley organized an event recently with Tesla Engineering, and Tesla's lead engineer for the Robotaxi unveiled some new details. Specifically, he spoke about Tesla's focus on efficiency. First, he mentioned that a common question they get about this vehicle is why is it only 2 seats? The reason he says is that, quote, 82% of miles driven today are with 2 or fewer passengers. By Tesla's logic then, lugging extra seats around wouldn't make sense on several fronts. Not only would the added weight of those extra seats take more energy to move the vehicle, but it would take more energy to clean the cabin. This also allows them to make a much smaller vehicle. There has been a lot of focus on being able to clean this vehicle efficiently as well, because it is intended to be used as a rideshare vehicle. The main objective here is that owners are able to rent it out so it pays for itself. As such, it makes sense that cabin sanitation is a priority. Fewer seats means less time spent cleaning, and beyond that, the bench seats are easier to clean, and they have reduced the pockets of space in the cabin that are hard to reach. Then the extra space would also add more complexity when it comes to maintenance, and a 2-seater shape allows them to improve the vehicle's aerodynamics overall. It's more narrow in the rear of the vehicle, which helps aerodynamics as well. Despite that narrow rear though, he mentioned still being able to carry a number of things, like 2 carry-on bags, 2 full-size bags, some bicycles, or a foldable wheelchair in the trunk. On top of that, of course, it will save on cost. He also announced for the first time that we've heard officially that the Robotaxi will be built with roughly half the parts of the Model 3. Fewer pieces generally means less time to produce and fewer parts that need to be maintained. So not only will that save Tesla on manufacturing costs, but it should also save owners on maintenance. He also talked about the lack of a steering wheel and pedals. The Robotaxi will run on FSD, which is expected to get some updates with version 13. That version has started rolling out to the public and will be pushed to all FSD owners, quote, in the coming weeks, hopefully. While the forward hinging doors look very cool, many don't see them as quite as efficient as the rest of the vehicle. He said, however, the new doors were thoughtfully designed to improve the ease in which passengers enter and exit the vehicle. By hinging the doors in front, they were able to move the B-pillars back, making the seats more accessible. Already, though, they have improved the efficiency of this design for future versions of this Robotaxi. While the tires add to the vehicle's futuristic design, they have also been designed with efficiency and ride comfort in mind, with the larger diameter that helps with rolling resistance. In a car with no driver as well, there are of course new opportunities for entertainment on the center screen. It's the same resolution as the Model 3 and Y today, but is the largest screen they have ever put in their vehicles, measuring in at 21 inches. After this event, guests did have the opportunity to sit in the car itself, which I got a chance to do at the We Robot event back in October. Overall, it was a very spacious ride. It did not feel at all like a cramped two-seater. Those two seats definitely give you a lot of space, and it would be a comfortable ride. The one thing I am curious is these seats don't seem to recline or anything, so I'm curious what that means for longer trips. These updates are very exciting to see, and I'm very curious to see when Tesla can actually bring this to market. It could be soon, or it could take them a lot longer than expected. Most seem to expect the latter. Next up today, some big news for Tesla's energy division. They recently secured a huge MagBak order that will power an upcoming energy storage system in France, and it will be the largest one in the country. This was confirmed in an announcement from TAG Energy last week. Quote, "This landmark project marks the start of an ambitious expansion plan for 2025 with accelerated solar and storage deployment activities. Tesla, a key partner, will contribute its expertise in advanced storage solutions and market access services." By market access services, they're likely referring to Tesla's AutoBidder, which is a real-time trading and control platform that performs market bidding and dispatch control for value maximization. Basically, it is a software that allows companies to manage Tesla MagBak stations nearly autonomously, saving time and money compared to competitors. It's hosted by Tesla's cloud, and it is a huge asset to them in their expansion of their energy business. In addition to Tesla, TAG Energy is partnering with banks in the Netherlands, Germany, and France. They say the 240 megawatt, 480 megawatt hour project will have three essential functions. Quote, "Optimizing the use of decarbonized electricity, providing critical capacity during peak demand periods, and enhancing grid stability with near instantaneous response capabilities." The project will have the capacity to store about 20% of the residential electricity needed in the region, which over 500,000 residents live in. That translates to over 100,000 homes that could be supported with 100% clean energy, and it would take about 123 Tesla MagBaks to achieve that. While this is not the biggest MagBak project Tesla has implemented, it is the largest one in all of Europe and marks a huge step forward for the business's expansion. Overall, Tesla's energy division has really been taking off this year. In fact, their MagBak deployment is up 75% year over year. These MagBaks are produced out of their mega factory in Lathrop, California, which is, quote, "one of the largest utility-scale battery factories in North America." They recently celebrated manufacturing their 10,000th MagBak out of that factory, which is their goal to achieve on a yearly basis. That equates to 40 gigawatt hours of clean energy storage produced annually, and they are nearly there. We fully expect them to double the total number of MagBaks produced to date in 2025 to reach that goal. Construction is also underway on their second megafactory in Shanghai, and that is expected to be finished soon. Construction there started in May of this year, and they are already more than halfway done with it. They plan to begin production in Q1, and if they achieve that, that means they will have gone from groundbreaking to unit deliveries in less than a year. That one will also have a capacity to produce 10,000 megapacks or 40 gigawatt hours of energy storage annually. Once that factory is brought online, starting with a 20 gigawatt hour production rate, we expect MagBak installations across Europe and Asia to boom. This is truly a very exciting time for Tesla Energy, and I can't wait to see the rest of the world adopt this technology. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see a full breakdown of Tesla's plans to make a Tesla bot every 30 seconds, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.